Resource is the Merck Veterinary Manual. So that's a website. It's MerckVetManual.com. You can see it up here. It's a high quality, free to read online resource. And if we look at it, if we go into the veterinary content, first of all, you can see it goes through it system by system. So generally, you can either pick the chapter you want, or I'm going to search for, say, umbilical infection. Give me a few options here. I'm expecting to give me more than one species. So it's, you can see here, it's doing abortion in horses, pigs, sepsis, actinitis in horse, jointing in goats, uroperitoneum in foals. So it's given me lots of options there. So let's try umbilical infection in foal, just to try and narrow it down a bit. Okay, now I just have 33, of which 25 are veterinary topics, which is helpful. If I want to resign the results, then I can, so I can get rid of, I don't want poultry. And let's see what that's reduced it down to. Now I'm down to 30, of which 22 are veterinary topics. Let's have a truck through it. So septicemia, uroperitoneum, sepsis, bladder anomalies, overview, fungal infections, Hendra. I'm going to pick one of these two, and it's trying to put them by the most useful thing first. Disorders of the digestive system, abortion in horses, hepatic abscesses, intestinal diseases, neuroliths, and hair follicles. Right, so let's go back to the first page there, and I'm going to pick, say, sepsis in foals, because we know that's associated. Now, see here, they have septicemia as a pet health and sepsis in foals. The veterinary topic is the one I want, because that's written for a professional audience. The pet health here is aimed at owners. So this is the one I want. Click on sepsis in foals. The article opens up. And then the first thing is, who wrote it? Well, this is the author here, Daniela Bednice at the Tufts University. So Merck are not the author, they're just the publisher. That's really important when you go to cite this. It's Daniela Bednice you'll be citing. So let's assume that, okay, there's something there I want to use as a reference. You have a couple of options. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to save to Mendeley for this fella as well. Web page, sepsis in foals, that's grand. So the author I fill it in here is Bednice Daniela. Okay, publishing, it's the Merck Vet Manual. The year, okay, I'll usually get the year at the bottom of the page. It'll tell you when the article was last updated in some cases. 2020, okay. So have a look, you'll find a date usually somewhere on the web page. Sometimes they'll say as well at the top, if it's been updated several times, they'll have the date of last update. Or you can put in N, if you couldn't find the date at all, that means not dated. But I'm going to leave it as 2020. Okay, no page number since it's a web page, and that's the URL. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Okay, again, if I go into my Mendeley now and tell it to sync, and go into my recently added articles, you can see there's it again. So I'm going to add that from unsorted into my equine umbilical infections. So let's go back to unsorted. I'm going to list them by when they were added. So I want most recent one. So these two here, two most recently added, put them into my equine umbilical infections. And I've gone there, I can see those two websites are there now along with the articles I found earlier. So we're just gradually starting to accumulate some documents. You can see this takes a while. You're not going to be able to do a search for an assignment in 20 minutes. It is something that takes a bit of time and needs a bit of planning. So it is important to allow yourself time for this when you're working on assignments. Okay, so that's how to use the MerckVet Manual as a resource, and you'll find lots of useful information on there. It's a good starting point for a lot of conditions.